Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a one-page layout for the Erica Rose Creates design team, and I am using her January Patreon exclusive cut file, the Wrap Up 2024. I'm actually kind of using, in my opinion, a kind of different collection for this type of layout. It is the Time to Travel collection from Blvd. But I had this really pretty paper here with the florals and the orange. And then I also had a lot of floral pieces left on the chipboard sheet. And I kind of just decided to go with that because, as you saw in the beginning, there are 12 open spots for photos. And so I went ahead and I picked one photo from each month, which was not easy by any means. I left out She Loves Color. I left out a couple other things, but September I did football for one son, so then I felt like I should do soccer for the other son in October. So, left out She Loves Color, unfortunately, but it was definitely a hard decision to figure out what photos to include in this cut file. When I cut the cut file, I made sure that I kind of cut it large enough that I could get photos in the middle of all of these kind of Polaroid spots here. But I also didn't want it too large where I couldn't border my layout. And so I tried to find kind of a happy ground there. I wanted a barrier between the floral paper and the white background paper because the background of the floral paper was white. And so I just felt like it needed kind of a separation piece. And so I chose this yellow here. I really had a lot of fun with this layout, and I had eyed up this cut file back in January, but I think I even tried to pick out photos. And like I said, it was just so challenging to pick out only 12 photos from a whole year. Finally I decided to go ahead and try it. I did print my photos out 3x4 on my printer at home. I have a Canon, I think it's a Pixma TSC something. I will see if I can find a link for it and link it down below for you guys. I do enjoy it. I am having a hard time right now. I'm ending up with lines on my photos and end up having to clean it a lot. I didn't realize I could clean it. Like the printer will clean itself. And so I don't know if because I didn't do it for so long that now it's just taking a lot for me to kind of clean it satisfactorily. I'm not sure. So I do like it. I like having the access to print my photos at home. I like having the access to print them smaller. I just use the app, the Canon app that goes along with the printer to print them smaller. I can border them if I choose to. I can make them smaller. But I do really like to add the 2 photos to a 4x6 piece of photo paper. And lucky for me, because these squares I didn't realize are so much smaller than the 3x4 photos, I was actually able to use every photo I printed. I was afraid once I kind of added the photos behind that the photos would be too large. But lucky for me, I did kind of do it on purpose, I think, was when I selected my photos, I made sure they were far enough away that, the faces weren't the main focus maybe of the photos, that they were kind of a distance away so that I could cut them if I needed to. So I wanted to back the wrap up and the 2024. So I am going to use the orange paper here to back the wrap up. I just like how it's bright and I don't know, it goes along with some of the flower colors in the background. So I am going to trace it. I won't make you watch the entire thing, but I end up tracing it, cutting it out, and gluing it to the back. When I go ahead and do the 2024, I do the star ahead of time because I wanted that a different color than the 0. So when they're kind of layered like that, you have to make sure that you are doing the, whatever you want in the front. You got to make sure that you do that first, and then obviously do the next layer behind it. So for the 2024, I'm using 4 different colors in this collection, the Time to Travel collection. There was a striped piece of paper, and I actually had almost all of the stripes cut apart already, and so it just worked for me. It was the perfect width, each of the strips, and so I just backed the 2024 each with a separate color while adding that yellow paper you see in the star. So I obviously am not gonna make you sit and watch me back all 12 of these photos, but I did kind of want to show you the process so you can see what I was talking about, where I really had to trim down these photos a lot more than I anticipated. So in that second one, I would have liked the statue in the photo, but I feel like you kind of get an idea anyways without the statue. This one here actually probably was the one that was closest up, and so I did have to trim some of it down. After I cut this one with my paper trimmer, I gave up on the paper trimmer. I just used scissors because truthfully, it didn't matter if it was exactly straight. You can see here, even with the paper trimmer, I ended up having to trim it even more. And I had to do that often with really every single photo. So once I get this all trimmed down, I will glue it, and then I will go ahead and do all 12 of them. Again, I'm not making you watch all of them, but it is interesting. As I was creating the layout, I realized the majority of these photos are sports related. You can definitely tell by this one layout that we are a sports family. So that one's sports, and then I've got football and basketball and soccer. February's was actually a basketball game that we went to, and then I have birthdays. So lots of sports, a couple of Disney holidays, but yeah, definitely a lot of sports. So I have a select few pieces left of the chipboard. There was this saying here that I thought was perfect. It was, I think, saying like life is an adventure or something, and I thought that was a perfect thing for a year-end wrap-up. Again, I'm a little late. It is March, and we're just doing a 2024 wrap-up. But yeah, better late than never, right? So I did go ahead and add that chipboard phrase to the middle of those 2 sections on the bottom. And then I kind of punched out all of the rest of the chipboard flowers and that arrow there, just kind of any of the chipboard I thought I would use, I punched out. Sometimes if you're lucky enough, the backing will stay on. And so you can kind of play around with the placements of them. So you can kind of see where I plan on embellishing. I do have the puffy stickers here too. I don't think I really use any of those puffy stickers, but I did decide to commit to the placement of these chipboards. Kind of mixing around the colors. I do have a camera that I'm going to add to the far bottom right there and add a couple of embellishments to that as well. That one that I added glue to, that one, the backing, and actually the sticker itself came completely off, and so it was just cardboard, and my ATG tape never sticks to kind of like just the cardboard, so I did add some glue so that wouldn't come up. I have a couple of pieces that I thought about using. One of these is a Bella Pop there. I just had that single one left, and color-wise it matched, and it was floral, so I added that with the arrow to the bottom left there. I don't know. This one really, once I got the cut file done and backed, because that was what took the majority, the rest of it came together really quickly. I did go into my Scrap and Happy Studio stash and found a flare that says enjoy, and it was that kind of royal blue color. I thought that matched really nice. But because I had so many embellishments, I guess, on the left-hand side, I knew I wanted to kind of pull some embellishments to the right, the camera being one of them on the bottom, but then I did, you know, add that flare, and I guess I forgot, I did end up adding some of the smaller puffy flowers to the clusters. The clusters kind of on the top left, I wanted 3 in each of them, and so this worked really nicely. They were a lot smaller than the chipboard ones, and so it just really kind of flowed with those clusters. Added a couple smaller ones with the flare at the top, and then a couple smaller ones with the camera at the bottom as well. So I think that's really going to finish out this layout. Again, I had so much fun with this one. It's a Patreon exclusive. So you can always join Erica's Patreon group or check out her shop and get some of the other cut files, kits, classes, collections, you name it, she might have it. And don't forget to use the code Melanie for 15% off your order. I hope you guys enjoyed this layout, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.